And I'm going live here with the thing, yeah? I'm going live here. Hmm? Yeah. And like for some reason I'm not seeing who on the live. Maybe some doubles y'all. Mm. I got a snack sponsor tonight in the form of my brethren Gideon. So I tell me he sponsor my show tonight. So I'm having me some doubles. Yeah, good night, Tunisian. I tell everyone tonight, welcome to Night Snacks. Forget man, they're trying to finish my doubles. It's really good. There's this lady in Arima. She's be by Eufy's cloth store. And she has potato chicken, beef. Yeah, potato chicken and beef doubles. Tastes really good. I know some people that are going to say that can be double, that's what would be roti, but trust me, with the chana and stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who are joining me for the first time on the live, welcome to Night Snacks. Usually on Night Snacks, once we turn out, we normally have something that we munching on. So you can probably go and grab, some some little snack that's a munch in the meantime. So welcome to Singh. I said good night. Let's see what else I have here. Hey Natalie, welcome. Hey, double M boy, Mr. McClatchy, how you doing, brethren? Nice to have you on the inside, man. Welcome to Night Snacks. I'm snacking on some doubles tonight. And this might be we're talking about, we started off Monday talking about having balance in life, and I want to continue talking about that this evening. And I want to look at the importance of you know well, Monday we looked at balancing life and work. I know most people always talk about plenty people having that challenge of balancing their work life and the other aspects of their life. Some people tend to have and myself really working hard for what they want, and that's good. It's good to work hard for what you want, but sometimes we work so hard that we forget the reason why we're working. Some of us work because we say to take care of family and pay bills and that kind of stuff, but then the work could consume us so much that we could find ourselves not having a family that we actually quote unquote supposed to be providing for, trying to make this life for, you know what I mean? So we're just talking about balancing all those things, and tonight I want to talk just a little bit about having a balance in the way that we think about ourselves as individuals. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight. Should have give me a minute. I need to get me some water. This doubles was fantastic. Anytime you're in Arima, any weekday evening, and you're just looking for some good tasting doubles, when you come down by the dial, yeah, you can ask anybody, just ask them where the Eufy's cloth store is, and there's a lady who's usually there in the evening time. Really some tasty doubles. And as I said, she does sells potato, beef and chicken doubles. Right, that tastes fantastic. So, eh, welcome, Mrs. Jupiter. Nice to have you on the live tonight. Welcome to Night Snacks. Is this your first time? I'm not sure. Let me know. Um, so usually on Night Snack, I always say one thing and chilling with me. Let me know what you're snacking on now. Let me know we chilling out, we talking and stuff. But you know, let me know what you're snacking on for the evening, alright? Yeah, so you know, Monday's little discussion. Um, Monday's discussion was really geared towards kind of helping us to begin to um, structure ourselves in such a way that we create a certain sense of harmony in our lives, because a lot of times we could find ourselves one-sided. Sometimes we might be going after our education, and in pursuing our education we might ignore our health, we might ignore family, we might ignore other relationships, you know, friends, and you know, and when we don't pay attention, you know, when we don't pay attention to the other areas of our lives, we can find ourselves um, creating this imbalance. And I was just making reference to the fact that when you think about your health, when there is something when there is an imbalance in your body, things go wrong, things go bad. You know, you started to get all type of different sicknesses. You develop diseases, right? Simply because things are not in harmony in your life, and that's one of the key things that I want us to get as we talk a little bit about, you know, creating balance in our lives. When you create balance in our lives, we actually working towards creating a sense of harmony in all that we do as individuals. You know, we have to take into consideration all aspects of our lives as an individual. You know, so we want to make sure that we are given the necessary attention to all aspects of our lives. You know, if you are, I remember I was making the analogy. Let's say you're a woman and you're probably married, so you know you're a wife, you're a mother. You know, you might be working. You know, but you also have to consider the fact that you have to take care of your health. You know, and these different aspects of your lives. And you want to be cognizant, you want to be aware of your life in its entirety as an individual, so that you can give the necessary attention to these different areas of your lives. Sometimes, without even recognizing it, we omit and ignore certain parts of our lives. Could be for certain valuable reasons, you know, because we focusing on this, or we want to make sure this happens. But what we actually find ourselves end up doing is that by ignoring certain aspects of our lives and not giving it the necessary attention that it's supposed to be getting, we could find ourselves in difficulty. So if it's like you're ignoring your health, you could develop other sicknesses. You're ignoring family and friends and some of your other personal relationships. You could find yourself, you know, being successful but being lonely. You know, you're pursuing this particular thing in life, and you're not, you know, you don't have time for people, and you don't have time to this, and you don't have time to socialize, and you don't have time to meet and whatever. And in so doing, you know, people just kind of shy away from you eventually, because, you know, they realize, okay, right now you just don't have the time for that, you know. So we want to just be mindful of creating balance in our lives. That's very, very important. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about mental health. I want to talk about mental health. I'm not a psychologist. But I just want to talk about creating that right balance in your mind. You know, concerning yourself, concerning life, and different things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Mental health, boy, mental health. A lot of people, I see so many, especially young people now, so many young people that I'm seeing losing their minds, you know. Um, I remember that one instance I found that it was like it was almost seeming like there was an epidemic where all these sort of young people you seen walking up and down on the side of the streets, you know, they're talking to themselves, they're carrying out themselves about in a dirty manner, some of them being violent, some of them being aggressive, you know, and it's like, you know, what is causing this 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 rampant scenario or situation where you have people that's losing their minds, literally that's losing their minds, you know, um, tripping off, you know. It's such it's I mean there's really it's such a thin line. It's such a thin line between sanity and insanity. One situation, it just takes one situation for everything to go downhill, you know, just one. And if you're not careful, your mind is something that you really want to guard. You really want to guard your mind as an individual. You want to make sure that you have a certain balance within yourself, that mentally you're able to be aware of things and to make decisions concerning certain things, and you know, but it is such a sad thing. I know some of us, you know, those of us that live in Trinidad and Tobago, this is something that is not new. We see, I mean, you know, you see so many mentally disturbed people in our society, and I don't know if we have the institution with the right methods and with the right um, equipment and approaches to really help these people and them. I don't know. I really don't know. But mental health and having that harmony and that balance in your mind is so important. You know, first first and foremost, I believe that one of the key things for us to have um, to be mentally stable is to have a good idea as to who we are as an individual. You know, so many people find themselves almost crashing in life because what they thought about themselves or what they thought about life and stuff, this all of a sudden becomes this illusion, you know. Um, I have heard of situations where people, you know, coming out from relationships and things didn't go as planned in the relationship, and something happened in the relationship and this person just couldn't take it on anymore, and they just trip off, they just go on glaringly mad, you know. Um, you know, you hear about these situations with young people, and oh, classic example, today we had our SEA examination in Trinidad and Tobago, and there are so many young people who are under stress leading up to this time. You know, you hear about the horror stories of children, you know, you would, for a child to take their life, listen, that and this is not an excuse for adults, right? But adults, you know, they have the stresses of life. There might be a certain level amount of responsibility that is so demanding on them, um, that, you know, just causes this breakdown within them, right? But for a child who, you know, you will think that, you know, they now starting to live life, but here it is that there is this thing, this exam that is causing so much of pressure on them that they just can't take it. They can't take it, and some of them are using the way out by the way of taking their life, you know. And what does all of this have to do with mental, having a balance in your mind and being able to have a healthy mindset? You have to be you have to be mentally strong and aware and alert to to be able to see when things that are going to be potentially dangerous for you as an individual, and to know when to back step. You understand what I mean? Um, you, it comes with a certain amount of reasoning that you have to have about this life, you know, and not allowing um the things that could find itself bombarding you to push you into a corner where you feel that there is no way out. That the only thing that you could find yourself doing is just crumbling. You know what I mean? Hmm. Anybody, anybody, you just tell me. Just give me a situation where, for you as an individual, or maybe somebody that you know, um, just couldn't, you know, or a scenario that creates this environment where somebody just can't take it no more, and probably they may have, right? They probably may have had a mental breakdown. Um, tell me, share if you know anybody. I mean, don't call no names. You don't have to call any names, but just share with me a situation, what the situation might have been like, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Oh. Wow. Hmm. So, and it was just sharing with us about this young lady who, I was just asking around for, for some experiences that you might have heard about, or know or know, that cause people to have these mental breakdowns. And he was just sharing about a young lady who she was involved in church and stuff, and she had a son that was living abroad, and in her attempt to get the visa to go abroad and try and help the situation, she was turned on, and that was like the decline in her mind. And you were just showing me that he even has right now, the stage 4, right? Stage 4 cancer. Now, the interesting enough, now a lot of times people don't. Hey, good night, Christopher. Hey, welcome, Melissa. Welcome to Night Snacks. Welcome to Night Snacks, guys. Welcome to Night Snacks. So, then before I continue, we're just talking about mental health, having that balance in the mind, and just looking at it from a healthy standpoint. And I was just asking about, people that you might have known, or that you may have heard about having mental breakdowns and stuff. And then just trying to get an idea. You don't have to call any names. I was just looking for, the situation, you know. So one of my in-house, one of my in-studio members was just sharing, and he was talking about this young lady who wanted a visa to go abroad, um, to help her son, and she was denied the visa, and that started a decline, or to the point where right now she has stage 4 cancer. Now, as you all, I want you all to share some experiences with me if you all have any. Hey, good night, Lesbian. Good night. So if you're being late, all right, no problem. That's fine. That's fine. You know, you'll be excused only for tonight. Don't let it happen again. Right? But we're talking about mental health and creating balance in your mind. Right? Now, I've oftentimes heard it said. Right? I've oftentimes heard it said that um, when you stress yourself out, when you take on things, it releases toxins in your body. Right? This is something I heard. I heard somebody was sharing it with me, and as a result of that, it almost literally as if you're poisoning in your body. You could imagine that you taking on things so much that you actually poisoning your own body. All right. Listen, it is so important for us to have um, strong minds. But a strong mind has to be supported by something. In other words, you don't just get a strong mind just so. That is something that you have to develop. I know of um, so many fights, school fights and other fights, right? But you know, with young people in particular, that started simply because somebody said something to the child, right? Something that they didn't like, and what it actually did is it just triggered something in them, and they just reacted to it, and they hit out or they lash out accordingly. No, a lot of times you have situations where children, because their minds are still being developed, there are things that affects them in a particular way. And I think that is one of the reasons why bullying is such a dangerous thing. Because remember, this person, an individual who has already probably doesn't have um, a strong personality or high self-esteem or good, not even high, good self-esteem, right? Good self-esteem. That they're being downgraded by another person or being told hurtful things by another person or being told things that would cause them to feel less of a person could cause this person just to react in an aggressive manner, right? Sometimes I ask myself the question about these children that go into the schools in the US, go into a school and begin shooting up the school. Um, I was listening to the report of the young lady that went to the YouTube headquarters. I think it's in Florida. I think it was in Florida if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but anyway, the YouTube headquarters, and she had there was a shooting that took place there, and when you heard it is that from the report, apparently it is alleged, let me use the term, it is alleged that she was upset by the fact that YouTube had stopped paying her for some videos that she did. No, to my knowledge, however YouTube works and stuff, that is whatever the arrangement is, when your videos get a certain amount of views, you get paid for it or whatever the case may be. But could you imagine the state of mind that somebody has to be in to be it going to a school or going to a building? You have no idea so the reasoning why the situation would have been, why you probably might not have been paid. Might have been checks that probably just got delayed in the lady's case, right? Or what about the child or this individual that goes into a school and just randomly begins shooting people? You know, the mindset of these people, where are they mentally? Are they thinking there is any level of rational? Because very very often it's not as if it's the individual who might have been causing this trauma to them, this hurt to them, that they go and they kill, or they go and they shoot, or they go and they try to inflict pain on. It's just random. So sometimes I ask myself, is it that the surrounding environment is just what actually caused them to think that they have to just deal with everybody randomly? You know what I mean? Let me just read one. Let me just read one from Melissa here. pressure from her family to do well in her studies. She didn't want to get into that field of loyalty. So here this one comes. So Melissa is sharing one with us here. And she had a friend who was under a lot of pressure from her family to do well in her studies. They wanted her to be a doctor. She didn't want to get into that field, but out of loyalty to her parents, she continued. And she had a breakdown in the middle of the semester. But once she didn't become a doctor, and she had to put the books on them away, doctor said that it's mandatory that she does nothing but rest and relax. And now imagine that, Melissa, imagine that you, and I kind of talked about the SEA students earlier on today. Earlier on today, but earlier in the video, when I just made mention that they had the exam today. And there are some students who are so stressed out by these exams that imagine a little child feeling stressed out that the body is broken down. Some of them reach the point of almost committing suicide and that kind of stuff. A child who is generally not supposed to be aware or to be feeling these type of pressures in life. You have the school environment or the educational environment creating these kind of things. I mean, look at this young lady. Now, the question might be, did the parents know that she didn't want to be in the field? It's quite possible. I have known of situations where people indicate, well, this field is not what I'm interested in anymore, and parents totally in disagreement with it, upset by the fact that the choice that the child wants to make and stuff. And you see, it really requires a person with a strong mind to be able to maintain mental health and balance in their mind, because you see, if you allow, I am of the opinion that stress is a self-inflicted thing, right? That stress is a self-inflicted thing. Stress is something that we allow to happen on ourselves. I always am amazed by homeless people, right? Let me explain what I mean by amazed by them. I look at them and nothing bothers them. They don't have to worry about bills, mortgage, or bank loans, or they don't even study about when the next meal sometimes is coming. They just know, well, it will come. They will find it somewhere. They will get it. And for want of a better term, a lot of times they live so long. They live so long. I know of homeless people. This is not people that have mental breakdown. I'm talking about homeless people, right? That from a child knowing this person am an adult and the person is in the same situation, being homeless, and this is not an endorsement of that lifestyle. This is not an endorsement of that lifestyle. I'm just making reference to the mental condition of the people that reach in these situations, that oftentimes they reach a place where they're just not taking on anything anymore. They're not worried about, where they're going to rest their head, when the next meal is coming. They don't have the worries of bills and loans and expenditures and mortgages and stuff, And sometimes I wonder, I say, but sometimes, like, this is the best way to go. You understand? To have yourself a life that is stress-free, right? But even as an individual, it is so important to guard your mind as to the things that you allow to come and affect you. And real quick, I was thinking about it today. I was really thinking about it today, and there were just some things that I said that I just wanted to share with you guys on the live tonight, that I think that really helps with having a healthy mind and having balance in your mindset, so that you create. Remember I was saying that when you talk about balance, you're literally looking towards having harmony, or a nice synchronized outlook on things, right? So first and foremost, I believe that it is important for you to know who you are as an individual. I think that is something that we should be, even with children, that we should really be working with, um, to give them that strength to know who they are, right? And understand who they are, know who they are, and understand who they are. And that in itself is very very that is so large in the sense of knowing um, their 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 potential, knowing their worth, and as I'm talking about worth, a lot of times people put, and especially in a lot of teenagers have this challenge where they put a lot of their worth and their value based on their physical presence. So whether you're light skin, or you have brown eyes, or you have long hair, or you have soft hair, and these things, is portrayed in so much in media as being the ideals in life, that you have young people, or even not only young people, you have people who are just weak in that area of their life, not really having confidence in themselves and not understanding their worth and their value as an individual, that they see these things as a way of giving themselves worth and value. So they start to buy the contacts. They want a contact to make their eye look blue, or they want a contact to make their eye look green. Um, or in some cases, they have the people going by where the bleaching of the skin. Alright? Um, you have some people literally almost not liking or appreciating themselves because, quote unquote, they're not light skinned. So they feel that because they're not light skinned, they're not good looking, or they're not. And listen, these are real things in our society. I'm talking about from children, or you have adults and all with this issue. You understand? And I really believe that oftentimes it's because we have never had the opportunity to mentally strengthen ourselves and understand our word comes not from our physical disposition or our physical presentation of ourselves, but our worth and our value has to start from inside, knowing who we are. And for us as believers, that is that our we know our worth. I mean, there's some appreciating the sacrifice that was made by Christ for us. That alone has established our foundation and our value, right? But we even have believers that have that issue. We even have people that are Christians that have that issue, that self issue, that mindset of thinking that you have to look a particular way, and you hear it in the comments. You hear it sometimes in the comments that people make, and the references that they make and stuff, and they feel that these are the things that give them a sense of worth. You know what I mean? Maybe read I see Christopher is sharing one here, so let's read it out for those both on the live and thing. My personal experience, I used to be like a switch. I would literally switch off trauma, hurts, and bad experiences, my way of dealing with things. However, every year one thing would trigger off, and I would go into suicidal mode. Oh, okay, Christopher. Real stress. I must say, it was only Jesus that helped me. It sounds cliche, but it's the truth. I had to confront the issues, forgive and release. Then the healing and deliverance came. Now I learn how to deal with these things better and not just switch off because of it. Switch it off because it will remain. So true. Thanks for sharing that, Christopher. Really, really appreciate that, bro. Really, really appreciate that. And Christopher, I'm almost certain you sharing that there are so many other people that have that challenge. There are so many other people that don't have not reached the place of establishing their value and their worth from the inside out. I am I when I look at advertisement, I remember I saw an advertisement recently. I'm into sports, right? So I'm into with basketball in particular. And there's an advertisement that comes up with this, well, differently, and the only term now is differently able children. And they were making a statement like, I they were denying the word can't. You know, you can't tell them that they can't anymore. You know, and they were talking about how beautiful they are and how talented they are and how gifted they are and stuff. And you would not believe um, that that is so moving to me, because you see a lot of times people who you hear them talk about their confidence and stuff, and because of the fact that they probably, you know, they believe that they have these physical features that, you know, what society apparently has established as the ideals. That's another topic by itself. Probably talk about that maybe in our next session, because that is something we have to deal with, right? Society and these societal norms and these kind of statements that we use, you know. But when I see that, you know for a fact that that has to be coming from a deeper place, because they don't have the physical capability that a lot of people, but yet still they could make these statements that I am able to do, or I can still become, or I am able to accomplish and I can achieve. And you look at these, you see stories, We oftentimes are moved by the stories when you see there's a man, I think he has no limbs. He has no limbs. And I think he's an artist. And he paints he holds the paintbrush and stuff in his mouth. And people look at it and be in awe of it. Why? Because you're looking at somebody without the necessary or who doesn't have these standard what we would say the tools to operate and live by, but being able to accomplish so many different things even in the midst of their shortcoming. And this is just to show that a lot of times, if we really understand it, our worth and our capabilities and our value really needs to stem from a deeper place, because he could have just simply said that he can't do and he can't become because of what is going on with him. He could have simply done that, but he didn't. You know what I mean? Let's read Christopher saying that he did an exercise with his students in five rivers, having the students tell each other they love each other, and you won't believe how they responded. It was amazing. Just say that some needed to hear that. Because I think sometimes we don't understand how many people, I see people posting selfies real often. I mean, it's like almost every day, right? They put up a picture of themselves, and I never ask them, but I oftentimes ask the question, who is that for? So you post a picture of yourself and stuff, you take a selfie and stuff, and I ask the question, who is that for? Because I'm wondering is it that they're doing it so that they could say, well, hey, I was at this event or whatever, or is it because they're looking for somebody to click like on the picture? I remember looking at a video. I have to remember the gentleman name and probably share it with you all of my thing. But he was talking about how there's a chemical release in the body that people experience when they go to their social media site and they see one of the pictures get a like. And he was saying that is a mental condition that exists today, because people depend on these things to give them a sense of worth. So you can imagine somebody who posting pictures and nobody not taking it on. If that is the mental condition of this person, depending on somebody to click like or to comment on the picture, to give them a sense of somebody like my picture, somebody commented on it, and like. So when I see somebody post a selfie, I really ask myself, like, I don't ask them, because people are entitled. I don't want people to feel, well, I can't post pictures of myself. It has nothing to do with that. The question that I ask myself, I don't ask them. is who is the picture for? Are you posting that picture to say, hey, I had a nice evening, or whatever, and that kind of stuff. Is it for that? Is it for just that? It doesn't matter whether people, or is it that you're posting it because people will comment on it, or you're hoping that people comment on it, And my concern is, if you're hoping people comment on it, why, you know? Because we have so many people in our society that have not established their worth and their value from the inside part of them, the inner man. Because what society has painted is that your worth and your value exists on what you could present. The smile, the hair, the eye, whatever else, the look, and that kind of stuff. I wasn't actually going to take this angle with the topic, right? But I guess as we interact and stuff will pop up.